Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. If ever there was a day, right, where you don't remember to turn on the microphone, it's the day where you do a 3-hour live stream, you do 6 things we learned, you pre-record tomorrow's video because it's a couple of days before my birthday, so I'm going on the Lashman tomorrow night. We're going to have a couple of bevs. Didn't turn the video on, recorded Chelsea news, but we're doing it again because the microphone wasn't on, and that would have just been probably the worst video you've ever seen on the internet. We have got Chelsea news, of course, today. Chelsea might be playing football matches, drawing with Borussia Dortmund, but off the field, we're stealing scouts from Manchester City. We are going to talk about Chelsea's new scouting appointment, and he goes by the name of Stuart Bloody Thompson. We're also going to be talking Romelu Lukaku, who's agreed a deal with Juventus. Can you believe it? There is good news to come regarding Romelu Lukaku, but it's not great yet, okay? There's still things that need to be done. Michael Olise, we've got updates from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea are also interested, I don't know if you knew about this one, in Moises Caicedo. As talks keep on going, we're also going to talk another alternative today that we've not mentioned yet on the George Benson football channel. But I think we should start, okay, with Romelu Lukaku here. Romelu Lukaku and Juventus have an agreement in place over a 3-year deal with option for further season. Are they nuts? They want this guy for 4 years? Are they bad? Juventus keep insisting on swap deal with Chelsea, including 40 million fee. Still waiting for CFC to decide on Vlahovic. Pochettino will be crucial. I've seen a lot of takes on this Vlahovic thing. I think Dusan Vlahovic, if he comes to Chelsea, let's say this deal happens, Vlahovic is fighting a losing battle because people have fallen in love with Nicholas Jackson. If Dusan Vlahovic comes in, doesn't start scoring goals, people are going to be looking at this thinking, why is he playing? Why did we buy this guy when we just bought Nicholas Jackson? I'm one of those people that is absolutely driving the hype train of Nicholas Jackson. I think the man is an absolute complete forward. The best striker I've seen at Chelsea for a very long time. And that is only after 5 pre-season games under Pochettino. Regarding this deal, contacts continue between Chelsea and Juventus to try to bring Lukaku to Turin and Vlahovic to London. To me, everything I think about regarding Lukaku just reminds me of a crash, something you don't really want to experience, but as long as he's involved at the club, it's a crash waiting to happen. I see this as 2 trains driving into one another. At the moment they're about to crash, they just pass. Chelsea get a new striker, Juventus get a new striker, Lukaku goes and both of the drivers high-five each other as they go past. That's how I see this one in my head. And Lukaku leaving, I think, will probably be as big of a cheer amongst the Chelsea fan base as Levi Colwill signing a new deal. The parties are slowly coming together to reduce the distance on the balance. Juventus, in fact, started with a request for 50 million euros, that's revolting, but is willing to close on 40 million. There is still a distance, but the two clubs are slowly approaching each other. This is where the whole idea of 2 trains about to just collide comes into my brain. The moment Romelu Lukaku leaves Chelsea, I feel as though there's going to be an imaginary air that is just alleviated from the shoulders of everyone to do with the club. It is, without question, in my opinion, the worst piece of transfer business that I have ever seen Chelsea do. Romelu Lukaku's return, in my opinion, was 100% a little stunt to get Inter Milan out of financial worry. Within 3 months of being here, he does a bloody interview in Italy to Italian media about his adoration and love for an Italian club after joining the club he always wanted to make it at. He realised he was never going to be the second coming of Didier Drogba because he's nowhere near good enough, as a little hissy fit, and then he tries to bugger off and leaves a sour taste in the mouth of fans. And the air, really, just everything about it just stinks. It always has done. Dusan Vlahovic, the jury is out on him. And again, I think unfairly, because of the love that has been gained for Nicholas Jackson in recent weeks, Chelsea will need options. With Christopher Nkunku, he goes off injured against Dortmund. It doesn't look too bad. Nicholas Jackson, brilliant player, but let's say he does get injured. Mason Burstow, I love the kid, think he's a great footballer. Don't think he's ready yet for the first team at Chelsea. A loan move's needed. Armando Broja hasn't played a minute of football for nearly a year. Like, if things happen, Chelsea need backup. If Jackson isn't firing, it is cutthroat at Chelsea Football Club. If you're not scoring goals, last season you kept playing. Kai Havertz, I don't know how he managed it, but he just stayed in there for as long as he could. This year, we don't need that. We don't want that issue. If Jackson goes through a dry period, you need someone young and hungry to come in. There are a couple of rumours that Vlahovic doesn't want Chelsea. I don't believe so. If Juventus want Romelu Lukaku over you, mate, you go anywhere. You go play 4th division Italian football if you have to. It is beyond disrespectful that Juve want Lukaku over Vlahovic. It's utter madness, but I guess Lukaku playing under Allegri, it fits. It's boring. No one likes it. Just go, mate. Hurry up and just close the door on the way out and don't come back ever again. Unless it's to play against us in the Champions League and will absolutely destroy Juventus again by 4 goals, 2-0. We move into the second story of the day. There is an update from Fabrizio Romano on Michael Olise. We spoke about this one about a week ago. Release clause confirmed. Man City and Chelsea interest confirmed. Olise one to follow in the next days/weeks. This can't be weeks. If Chelsea want to sign Michael Olise, Manchester City are rivaling us for this transfer. We are now in a battle with Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. Guardiola wants Michael Olise to replace Riyad Mahrez, who has departed for Saudi Arabia. Chelsea, if we want to sign Olise, which, by the way, haven't seen Raheem Sterling during this pre-season. Noni Madueke's not played any minutes yet. That's a worry. Chelsea need Olise. We need a spark. We need someone who can not only play as a number 10 if Nkunku gets injured and Carnes isn't ready. Michael Olise was performing at a very high level for Crystal Palace. If Pep Guardiola wants him, everybody should want him. That's the way I see things now. You've got to look at Man City's blueprint, and if they're scouting players and thinking players are good, Chelsea should go for him too, which leads me to welcome Stuart Thompson. Sad to leave Man City. We signed some top young talents and I wish them all the best, but really looking forward to my new first team role scouting at Chelsea Football Club. We've got a Man City scout on our hands here. So let's go and pit Man City to the signing of Michael Olise, and then with Stuart Thompson in the scouting network, hopefully we can also capture some of the brilliant young talents that Man City have been looking at too. This is great. Chelsea could be overtaking City before we bloody know it. We're thinking very far ahead of ourselves here, but I do think there is strong interest also from Manchester City in Michael Olise. So when we see Fabrizio Romano here talking about days/weeks, I think Chelsea should try and get this one done quickly. If Michael Olise comes into this team, then the attack is immediately looking even stronger going into this season because, quite frankly, I'm not sold. I'm not convinced about Raheem Sterling. I'm really not. I've tried, but to me, he's the weak link in this team. We saw it at Man City, profligate in the final third when it comes to the correct decisions at the pressure moments. He's not got it. So Olise, he's got something magical in his locker, can make something happen out of nowhere, can play centrally, can play on the right. We know that Pochettino likes his wingers to invert, so narrow, that could work really, really well. So Michael Olise to Chelsea, keep an eye on this one over the next coming days. Their interest is confirmed. We move to discuss a member of the US men's national team who Chelsea are looking at as a potential alternative to Moises Caicedo. Chelsea are considering the possibility of signing Tyler Adams from Leeds as they remain deadlocked in talks with Brighton with Caicedo. And Liam Toomey from The Athletic puts on his own Twitter, Tyler Adams is a name on Chelsea's midfield list as the Caicedo talks continue. USMNT International has an active relegation clause at Leeds worth in the region of £20 million. Prices, all right? It's not my money. It's not yours. If Chelsea get Caicedo for 100 million, you can sit there and say it's too expensive all you like. But also, money talks in football. Caicedo is here. Tyler Adams is here. He's a good footballer. He's an exciting defensive midfielder. For 20 million quid, for someone, that could be a bargain. There's a lot of potential there. He could be something really special. But Caicedo is on a level above. Moises Caicedo just ticks the box of everything that Chelsea need in a midfielder. Not just for the ability that he has as an individual, but it's not just about individuals. It's a team sport. Pochettino has an idea of how he wants Chelsea to play. Conor Gallagher against Dortmund, I think, did really well. I think he played well. There were moments where you saw like there's There's something missing connecting the midfield to the attack. We're lucky to have Thiago Silva, Levi Colwill, ball-playing centre-backs who see those balls to create attacks out of nothing. But for Enzo to be his best, there has to be a proper defensive midfielder in that pivot alongside him. And Gallagher, as good as he is, I've said it so many times in this pre-season, we've seen it a lot last season. In a pivot, wasn't great. Chelsea are playing a lot better now. It's a bit more fluid. There's better players out there under Pochettino now, but still, Gallagher played well. Don't want to criticise him and take anything away from the performance, but Tyler Adams is not Caicedo. And the 80 million disparity in price between those two there, the difference is actually backed up, in my opinion, by the ability. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed negotiations are ongoing between Chelsea and Brighton for both Caicedo and Sanchez. Why do I get the feeling, right, that even if we sign Caicedo, the negotiations at Brighton might just still be going on? Even if he becomes a Chelsea player, they'll probably be talking about something to do with this deal, because it just seems to me like Brighton are pissing Chelsea off. Chelsea are annoyed with Brighton, but they just love chatting, don't they? All they bloody do is talk and talk and talk. Yeah, we're talking about 20 million. It's a lot of money, I know, but can we get this done now? Like, it's really becoming a little bit too long for me now. The final tweet we're going to look at is from Football Daily here. Chelsea expected to formalise their interest in Brighton keeper Robert Sanchez. The club are looking into the possibility of a loan and a permanent deal. That doesn't sound too bad. If he does really well, displaces Kepa, sign him. Nice one, good job. In terms of midfielders, Caicedo remains the priority target, while there is strong interest in Romelu Lavia. Romelu Lavia is the other top-end midfielder, in my opinion, that could be considered as an alternative for Caicedo. Lavia showed so much promise at Southampton last season. Southampton are sticking their heels in. That's the phrase, isn't it? They're sticking their heels in for the price for Lavia. Liverpool have been told they need to spend 50 million. I said this a week ago. I think the fact that Liverpool have been putting so much pressure on the Saints to actually sign Lavia, Chelsea have been putting pressure on Brighton. I think Lavia chooses Liverpool all day long. I think he walks into that Jurgen Klopp team. Liverpool also a bit more advanced despite falling off a little bit last season too. I just don't think Lavia going to Chelsea will happen if the bids are the same. I think he'll choose Liverpool. That's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below. We've welcomed Stuart Thompson, the new scout, to Chelsea Football Club today from Man City. We're in a battle for Michael Olise, and I'm actually really keen on this one now. I want Chelsea to buy the bloke. Let me know your thoughts on all of the Chelsea news from today in the comments down below. I can't wait for us to sign Caicedo, you know. If it actually happens, we've got to have a party, haven't we? We've got to have a couple of beers on video or something, because this saga has just been the most draining experience. I don't know what's worse. Lukaku's still being here. From the start of this video to the end, he's still here. Or Chelsea haven't got Caicedo yet. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you didn't see 6 Things We Learnt, by the way, it was uploaded at 4 a.m, straight after the Dortmund game, of course. But if you missed it, I wouldn't have been surprised, because if I'd have been in the UK, I'd have been sleeping too. Link top of the description. Have a great day. Come on, you Blues.